I'm back.
What do it, y'all? This girl such a craziness. I'm coming to you and you with another word on the street segment. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. So, baby, we are back here again with Simon and Porsha.
Here we go again. God.
I'm like, damn, Simon, let it go. It's just like you will not let this woman just have the last word. You just won't. But Simon is out here, child, asking for $500K in a lawsuit against Porsha over a low bedroom performance post. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, before, Real Housewives of Atlanta came back, we was basically having the Simon and Porsha drama saga going on in social media with the post, because they were going back and forth. It's really more of Simon, like he really wanted that reaction from Porsha, and when he got it, he could handle it. To me, that's what it's giving. But now he talking about he got a case, and I just think it's because he don't want to pay. He don't want to pay what he signed up to do in that prenup.
I'm gonna give Porsha props. Porsha is the first American to scam a Nigerian. That's 1 point for America, okay? Because Nigeria's been whooping on the scamming limits out.
She a patriot.
She is a true American. So listen, not only a journalist, but a true American. I'm not mad at Porsha because Simon obviously was using, Simon was obviously using Porsha for the fame. A lot of people that have money and they're corny, right? They desire the things that money can't buy. The social currency, the attention. So what do? You attach yourself to a beautiful, popping, famous girl, and you instantly get. No one knew who Simon was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and now we all know who Simon is. So I ain't mad at Porsha because he was going to use her for her beauty and her proximity to her fame, and she said, "All right, cool." And at the end of the day, she didn't come up on him. This is the prenup that he agreed to.
Okay, so let's get into this story, y'all, because it's too much. So Porsha Williams' ex-husband, Simon, is reportedly dragging her to court in a new lawsuit. He claims her shady Instagram post about dysfunction wrecked his reputation. He seeks a substantial sum in damages for lost business and additional compensation for the embarrassment. His lawsuit filing comes just weeks after he lost his court battle with Porsha, which a judge saw to uphold their prenuptial agreement. Now, according to U.S. Weekly, Simon is suing Porsha for defamation over November 2024 Instagram post that he says falsely implied he's got dysfunction. His lawyer claims Porsha used her social media platform to drop misleading statements during their nasty split, aiming to humiliate her or humiliate him. The posts were crafted to make people think Simon suffers from this condition. Now, let's do a little rewind.
Let's rewind.
Okay, so we got Simon and Porsha going back and forth. And really, I want to say Simon started off. Well, hell, it might have been Porsha. It's been a long time. Last year, around July. But it was popping off in the comments as well as between their individual Instagram stories. Now, Simon had called Porsha a witch. And then Porsha shared a series of posts about men's health awareness. But what led to all of that, she had a black background and she had in big and bold the letters ED, aka Ed. And I'm like, wait, is she trying to say somebody's special ed or something like that? And I'm like, what the hell going on? But then I think he called out the dysfunction, which she just played along with it, like, okay, you brought it out, you gave a name to it, so I'm about to go ahead and say what you can do if you suffer from these symptoms. I'm like, girl, petty is as petty does. They both damn petty. So a few months later, Simon filed a lawsuit against Porsha, accusing her of defamation. Now, at the time, Simon said he wanted damages, but there was no details about how much he wanted. So fast forward to now, he talking about he won't have a meal, baby. But yeah, so shouts out to Carlos King, Reality with the King. He has this new segment where it's called Reality True Crime Stories. and it's basically, going off true crime, but having this reality TV feel with the reality TV stars. And so he had his co-host Courtney Parker. She's well versed. She worked on Law and Order. She worked on Snap, Oxygen, all them. What else? Fatal Attraction on TV1, and he also said she was like a executive producer. I want to say on one of the TV shows he had. I forgot what it's called, but she's well versed in these things. And when I tell you she broke it down, she broke it down. So shouts out to you, girl, because I was like, yo, what? But she gave different perspectives of, yes, Simon might actually have a case here, and he's gonna have to prove it, as well as Porsha's gonna have to prove that it wasn't directly towards him. And I'm just like, whoo, that's a lot going on. But let's get into this lawsuit, okay? So, according to the court documents obtained by U.S. Weekly, Simon told the court he will be seeking $500,000 for lost business opportunities and sponsorships. In addition, he will also be seeking unspecified general damages for harm to his reputation, emotional distress, and humiliation. Guobadia said he believes he is also entitled to punitive damages for Williams' alleged malicious conduct. Now, as U.S. Weekly provided or reported, Guobadia sued Williams for defamation back in November of last year over a series of Instagram posts made. Now, Guobadia, who split from Williams in 2024, claimed their relationship became contentious when she started making negative, false, and misleading statements about him on social media, using her outsized platform to negatively influence public perception of him. In his suit, he said Williams made statements regarding his dysfunction. Now, Simon, nobody can't make nobody believe what we seen with our own eyes and heard about how you was rocking and rolling between this divorce with Porsha. You was the main one on social media, and we like, damn, let up off her, bro. Like, just let and you just wanted your time. You wanted your time because you couldn't be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you wanted to stop her bag for that. But it is what it is. Moving right along. So these posts were intentionally crafted to imply that Simon suffers from this condition, casting him in a negative and humiliating light. Now, Simon's attorney said the nature, timing, and context of these posts in the middle of the couple's public separation led reasonable viewers to infer that Porscha's statements were referring to Guobadia because, they were.
But she knew exactly what she was doing. Porsha just said ED. Simon raised his hand. Yes, but again, she was throwing shots. It wasn't like they weren't having exchanges. So we have to look at the intent and the premeditated intent. If we're looking at it from a scope of true crime, law, legal standings, parameters, she did it while exchanging remarks about one another. So how would he not assume that ED, and then to go on to say, how do men deal with dysfunction? How do they feel when they're experiencing dysfunction? She didn't list anybody else. She never came out and said, hey, I'm not talking about you. She knew exactly what she was doing, and he took the bait explicitly.
Court documents, Guobadia argued that Williams' post was presented in a factual manner that implied he had ED and were clearly intended to cast him in a negative and humiliating light. Now, Porscha's statements were false, Simon does not have ED and has never suffered or being diagnosed with his condition. That's what his lawyer is saying. The businessman, who was recently deported, claimed and he had suffered emotional distress and personal anguish due to the Instagram post made by his ex-wife. He also said by making these claims in a public forum, Porsha issued their immediate and widespread, amplifying the harm to Simon's credibility and social esteem. Now, in response, Porsha is demanding the suit be thrown out. Her lawyer said, "None of what Porsha posts refer to any particular individual, let alone Simon specifically. Now, Porsha cannot and should not be held liable for sharing information regarding a common condition that likely plagues many of Williams' social media followers. For this reason and the reasons detailed here in this court, should dismiss Guobadia's complaint in its entirety." Now, her lawyer also said these posts simply provide information regarding a common condition. And defendant even uses the hashtag men's health awareness to draw awareness to the information that may help some of the defendant's social media followers. Lord have mercy. Now, in this new filing, Guobadia claimed he would submit his medical records to review implications made by Porsha that he doesn't have that condition, but this case is ongoing. Child, this is a hot ass mess. But basically, one got to prove it wasn't done intentionally. You know, I was just sharing awareness. The other one saying, "Nah, boo, you was directing that to me, and I'm gonna need you to pay for that because it gave me emotional distress. It affected my business aspect of things. Yada yada yada." So y'all tell me what side you on, and I'll see you in the next word on the street.